What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo! Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. We made it! It's the Joker movie. We finally done it. We passed all 6 or whatever Joker movies plus The Boys for good measure.
Oh my God.
And we're finally here. We are in Gotham City. Just kidding. We're in New York City. Just kidding. We're not in New York City right now, but the New York City in this movie is, or the Gotham City in this movie is New York City. If you thought the Gotham City in The Dark Knight Rises was New York City, boy howdy.
They got your face.
Shots where I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to put the word Gotham on the Empire State Building movie, but they did not. Yeah, this week we're going to look at Joker. Todd Phillips' 2019 Joker.
Do we have to say that whole thing? Like,
I don't know. I feel like at least Todd Phillips Joker. No,
Yeah.
there is no other Joker movie, which not surprising considering this one. But
do you think come after February we'll have to say Academy Award winner Joker?
Oh God, probably.
Surprise
without a doubt,
makeup
right?
win or something?
Yeah, I mean, the makeup and costumes from this can only be eclipsed by Emancipation of Fancy Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah,
that's the only
true.
other contender in the game. I mean, obviously they're going to use a body double because Jared Leto doesn't want to do this anymore, but maybe they'll put good tattoos on him. Or maybe they'll surprise drop Morbius on Netflix, starring Jared Leto in white makeup, and maybe that will have the best costuming or makeuping.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Surprise twist.
DJ, this is an event movie.
Is it?
Everyone's excited for it.
Serious question, though, is it? Because I'm not convinced.
I don't know if any of the movies this year that are event movies are event movies.
Infinity, or Endgame
Endgame was the one, yeah. But besides that, I'm not sure. I think Frozen might be, and I think Star Wars might be, although I'm honestly not convinced it will.
Star Wars will always be just because of the fans. I understand your trepidation, though.
It won't be, like, for me, like, oh, my God, the end of an era, even though it is the end of an era. I don't know why. This is just, like, a thing with me. I'm sure for plenty of people it will be, but for Frozen, I feel like it's the other one where you could be looking, that movie's going to make $1 bazillion, so that's got to technically be, like, an event movie. But there have been a lot of movies this year that have made an insane amount of money that I also just couldn't care less about. Mostly, like, Lion King and Aladdin and, like, Toy Story 4, which was good, but still, like, you know, very low impact as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I could be convinced it came out a couple of years ago. Most of the movies from
Really?
this year, I could... Yeah, you told me Captain Marvel came out in 2015 or like 2014. I'd be like, effects are pretty good.
Ooh, it's been a long movie year, hasn't it?
I know. I mean, Venom was like a year ago. That's where we were a year ago. Yeah. And this is kind of like, this is a lot like Venom, actually.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you to elaborate, right? And then I'm just like, yeah, sure. Anything's
Dark
like Venom.
and gritty, great actor. You know, kind of flat or boring script, but completely elevated by the actor's performance and just like the kind of general difference that it holds from the rest of the genre at the time. And it opened in October when there were no expectations whatsoever.
I don't disagree with your analysis.
Yeah, origin story for a villain that almost exclusively otherwise features the hero. But in this, it's like, well, what if there was no the hero? Well, then it wouldn't make any sense. Yes, we know. But we're going to make the movie anyway. And he'll just end up being what he was.
Shit, man. This movie is a lot like Venom.
It's just like Venom. Remember that scene where Joker dives into a lobster tank and eats a whole lobster?
If you
that
were
was
to
probably
tell me...
lifted directly from Venom.
There's like... you know the You Don't Know Jack game where it's like, tell me if it's
fibbage or
you're
talking
about
like,
in You Don't Know Jack this or that. Is it a sex toy or a piece of artwork in the Lerv? You know what I'm talking about? If you were to like, is this a scene from Joker or a scene from Venom? Like, I'd probably be like, both. They both ate in the lobster tank. They both shot people in the subway.
They both got fired from their job about 15 minutes into the movie because they're a schlub. They both, what else? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff about these movies. They both end with a big fight on a spaceship, as we all know. Don't want to spoil Joker for you guys, but they go to space. It's pretty good.
Oh,
it's a backdoor Ad Astra like crossover movie. You haven't seen Ad Astra, DJ, have you?
No, I haven't, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
It's a fine movie. It's a good movie. It's nice.
Oh, good.
It's
Nice
it's no
movie.
Joker.
Oh, I don't think any movie's a Joker. I felt differently about this movie than like every movie I saw this year.
Probably.
Yeah, not to tip my hand. I didn't like this movie. I really didn't like this movie, and I felt very uncomfortable while watching this movie. So,
really?
For a lot of reasons. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Did you not? Was it just kind of a boring experience?
I mean, listen, I think this movie has all kinds of problems. I was mostly down for like the ride, like just to see like where's this gonna go? Is this gonna be amazing? Is this gonna pull together at the end? Is there something here that I'm just not seeing? And like it was entertaining in the moment because of the performance, but there are just a couple of bits where okay, so yeah, not to completely tip my hat either, but there were enough bits where something happened where I would kind of like, oh god, okay. And then by the second or third one of those, I was like, all right, I think I know how I feel about this movie. However, I'm sure there are movies this year that I have been more bored by.
Is that Astra one of them?
No. Well, movies we've talked about on this.
Oh, okay, fair.
I'm going back like Godzilla. Like Godzilla's pretty good. It wasn't that good. Like Dumbo. I don't know. There's some like Hellboy. Yeah, it's better than Hellboy. Probably. Alita Battle Angel. Yeah, I thought that was something. Lego Movie 2. That was fine. Glass. It was no Glass.
Oh, I was so much more bored during Glass. Holy
yeah,
crap.
exactly. Glass was awful. No, it's fine. He tried so hard. It's a hard movie to make because it shouldn't, not like it shouldn't work. But yeah, exactly. No, like theoretically, just a movie combining those two things shouldn't work. On a small budget with a Bruce Willis who is the now Bruce Willis that we have to work with, and not the good acting one from the past. I did want to clear up a couple of things real quick before we get into it. A couple of people tweeted, and this wasn't about our The Boys episode, which like I just released the other day because me and DJ were at Comic-Con the whole last like weekend, so you didn't have too much time to put it out. But this is actually a reaction to the episode we did prior to that, which was on the Lego Batman movie, a movie we, enjoyed. And I spent probably like 5 or 6 minutes in the beginning of that episode talking about my confusion with the general Ninjago franchise. I don't know if you saw this, DJ. We got a couple of clarifications on what that is.
Yeah.
So Robin, first of all, replied, as an older sister of a hashtag Ninjago fan, almost all of my friends and their siblings watch or have watched the TV show. I don't know very many people who saw the movie in theaters, though. So it wasn't a pop cultural moment, even though people know that it existed. However, and this is so that you got a much bigger conversation here. So Ben Burris sent us a tweet. At Nitpicking Pod, Ari, the Lego Ninjago movie is made for no one conversation at the top of a Lego Batman episode. Further confusing the issue with Lego Ninjago, is it exists in neither the Will Ferrell's Basement Lego world or the Lego world of the show, that the Ninjago show that the like toys are based on. It bears little to no resemblance to the show plot-wise, and replaces all of the too many characters with one-liner takes by a weird list of huge comedy folks. Has zero heart to it. Has a guy doing a Will Ferrell from Anchorman as Garmadon. I rank it below the WAG Lego DC movies. WAG is like Warner Animation Group or something like that.
Yeah.
Which does those. Yeah. They made a movie that was not a good introduction of the property, not for the people already familiar with the Lego movie or Ninjago, and was basically the type of emoji movie nonsense people feared the first Lego movie would be. Sources, I have a 5-year-old. So thank you, Ben. This explains everything.
Yeah, it does.
Why it didn't hit, why I have no idea, like why there's no connection to the rest of it, and why it doesn't really seem to have much of a connection to the older show and toys that Ninjago is. Really weird, though, that it exists in that capacity. that there is that, like, you know?
Well, we theorized that it was a pure cash grab.
Yeah, it seemed like a big misreading of just what these franchises were and what would make them successful.
Yeah, and I mean, and to reiterate what we said last time, I'm not surprised that they did it, but I think the fact that they did it, like you said, was probably a misread, and like, oh, everyone's gonna love this. I think you need something to kind of fall back on, which is why I thought the Batman one was so good. And even in the, I think the first one was so good is it had a very interesting premise to fall back. So, you know, good stuff all around.
I mean, this one was trading on the good faith. Like, at least the Batman one, you got to go like, well, there's Batman movies that are successful. So maybe this won't be the biggest, like, we won't have to reinvent the wheel to create a successful Batman movie. We'll just kind of adapt that to Legos and throw in this character and this character. And, you know, there's all this history we can work around. With this, it's like, Power Rangers movies aren't the biggest thing in the world anymore. Ninja movies aren't the biggest thing in the world anymore. I don't know what else this franchise is going for, but none of those things are these huge slam dunks that it's like, obviously you can kind of build any movie around that. So, yeah, Lego Ninjago movie, man. Now, I haven't watched it yet. Maybe one of these days we will. But based on those two reactions, I completely understand why it doesn't have any like staying power, and why it also seems like it came out 5 or 6 years ago.
Agreed.
But DJ, I want to talk about a movie that feels like it came out both a week ago and 25 to 30 years ago. Todd Phillips' Joker Driver, the king of Joker Driver comedy. It's pretty good. Club. Fight the King of Driver Joker Comedy Club.
Okay.
It's all the 3 movies it is plus Joker.
Keep going with yes.
I can't think of more. Doing. Oh, man. Yeah, what's another movie that this, like, I don't want to say, like, borrows from? Fight the King of Comedy, Joker Club. Those are the big 3.
We joked Venom before the pod.
Venom, that's right.
Or wait, during the pod, Jesus,
just now, yeah.
Oh my God,
I know. Talking about Ninjago makes time go by so slowly.
Honestly, no, it's thinking about having to talk about this movie because I have so many thoughts. I've written down many of them. We have the tweets up.
Got a lot of nitpicks from you guys. Yeah, let's start here, DJ. How excited were you when you got to the credits and Eminem sang the song Joker, 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 Joker? Just kidding. That'd be pretty good though. I honestly don't even know what the credits were.
Here's how excited I was, Nando. So I thought the movie was gonna end 10 minutes before it actually did. So we were in the nice recliner seats, you know, feeling really good. And then Michelle and I, we kind of signaled, all right, we're done here, right? So, you know, put the seats into your regular upright position, if you will, getting ready to leave. And the movie went on for another 10 minutes. And we could not figure out what was going on. Like, did we miss something? Is there going to be, what's going on? Why isn't it over? And I was so ready to give my hot take that even before leaving the theater, I just shouted, that was terrible from the back of the theater. I probably made some people very upset. I felt very strongly, Nando. I thought it was such a bad movie. Oh my goodness.
Man.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan.
It's got some very clear positives about it.
Okay. Do tell.
You know, we'll talk about it, but I do think there's some very clear negatives about it. And it's funny because then the question is, do your positives outweigh your negatives? And it seems like they are, it's like we're on other planets, so the gravity is different, where like for some people, the positives are so positive and the negatives don't matter at all, so that it's like, bam, this movie is terrific. It's or the opposite, where the negatives are so negative and the positives all disappear. I would say, like most movies this year, it's probably just pretty like, not like average, but it's very... its positives are weighed out by its negatives pretty evenly. However, I do think there's enough surrounding... it's tough, because I have a hard time with this movie because I hate Society as well. Now, Society's cool.
Yeah, Society's super cool.
I'm a Thomas Wayne type. It's fine. But I, first of all, as a comic book fan who has feelings about what the Joker is and is not, I have probably like a bias about how I'm going to feel about this movie. But then like B... someone who has to listen to Todd Phillips go on about how comedy is dead and all this bullshit, I think that also makes me leaving the movie go like, oh, okay, so you don't really like completely get it. Your vision is not this, brilliant thing that is unimpeachably of the times, and I'm missing something. Maybe you're missing something, or maybe there's something, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. I don't know. Well, I kind of agree. I think in the context, well, continue your point. I'll give my...
Well, it's just like there's movies where you can come out of it and go like, I don't think I got that. That might not have been for me. But if... So you know what? For example, I enjoy the movie Arrival enough. I don't think it's the greatest movie ever made, but it affected people... So many people will say it's one of their favorite movies of the last 10 years. And there's enough of kind of a mystery there in me just trusting other people and going like, you know what, maybe this just wasn't for me. But sure, it's good, and this part was good, and this part was good, and I don't know, I guess it's pretty good. But if the Arrival director came out after the movie came out, and like he went on, did, press, and ranted about some nonsense and how PC culture was too... It would make me take everything in the movie with like an extra grain of salt. Maybe like, I don't know, actually. It wasn't all that clever. Maybe it was just weird. You know what I mean?
Yes, I see what you're saying. I do find his attacks very odd, and I thought it was like, why are you doing this? Because it sounds like Old Man in the Room. And before he... said all the stuff about how, this is for certain people, you don't understand. I was like, all right, maybe there'll be something here. But after seeing it, it's very clear to me, very clear, that this movie was just Todd Phillips' attempt at trying to merge I don't want to go say like, I'll go like Black Panther and, try and win a superhero movie that's an Oscar. But it did feel like, I'm going to get the superhero Oscar movie like no one's ever gotten it before. It's going to be fancy and an auteur film, and I'm going to go take it from 1 to 10, and no one's going to get it but me. Or only the people who get it will like understand why this is an Oscar movie.
Yes, I agree.
And I disagree with that premise entirely.
And I think the difference, because I think it would have been... listen, I didn't see most of the Oscar movies last year, but I think if Black Panther won, it would have been a little like, all right, really? Like, this is the best picture of 2018? But maybe it was. I don't know. But if the difference seems to be Ryan Coogler went in and said, what's the best movie I can make about Black Panther? And how can I elevate this character and this story that Marvel wants me to make into an Oscar movie? It seems like Todd Phillips went, how can I make an Oscar movie and tape the word Joker onto the DVD cover so that it technically makes $1 bazillion? Like, yes. But it also feels like that other thing. And listen, before we really get into it, if you like this movie, that's cool, because I don't have as negative of an opinion, although I probably will by the end of this, because the more we talk about it, the more I'm going to probably get tired of it. But,
woohoo!
Yeah, there's plenty of movies. I know a lot of people that really liked it, and there's a lot to appreciate about it. Mostly Joaquin Phoenix and cinematography and the score. I would say those are the big three. I'd say...
Yeah, I'd put production design up there, too.
Yeah, I'd put that with really cinematography good in general. It's just like the look and the, the 80s-ness and the way it's shot and all of that together, I'd say is pretty... So, yeah, I would say production design, score, and Joaquin Phoenix. Those three, very good.
Everything else, get the fuck... No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to make people mad.
But besides that, this movie felt very much like a movie like Bad Times at El Royale, where it's like you watch it. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, unfortunately. I wanted to. I just haven't.
I like that more, not like this, but just the same kind of way where you watch it and you're like, this isn't a Tarantino movie, but this is like a Tarantino movie. Like, this wants to be a Tarantino movie. It just is missing the soul of a Tarantino movie that makes it what it is, as opposed to an imitation.
Right.
This is that for the Scorsese movie. And I think this one lacked even more... It had even less to like about it in terms of just like likability, where like with Bad Times at El Royale, there was just a lot of fun stuff going on that you're kind of like willing to forgive it because like, oh, John Hamm, he's cool. And the guy from, the Jeff Bridges, he's also just like having fun and his character is interesting and the music is great. And like, there was just a lot of other things. So externally, I think you could kind of be distracted and give it, a pass. But also, Bad Times at El Royale didn't get a reputation like it was going to be the greatest movie ever made. Kind of came in as like a little surprise and then it went. But this,
the hype machine,
got a 7 minutes standing ovation at Cannes, and it just had so much great stuff.
I was so surprised how much the film festivals went crazy for this movie. And I'm with Nando. Like, if you like this movie, like, good. I am an advocate of, like, I like some terrible movies. That I'm just like, yeah, this movie's a great movie and I love it. Shut up. Like, we've both talked about how much we like the Fast and Furious movies, which are objectively pretty bad.
Oscars. They deserve Oscars. Yeah. Looking back, the first one deserves an Oscar. It's terrific.
Maybe, like, 7. 7, I can see.
I think 6 is the best one, but I understand why 7 would get one is because they killed. I mean, they didn't kill him, but Paul Walker died in it.
I cried at the end of 7. Anyway,
I did too, but it's like, am I crying for the movie or am I crying for that he is dead?
Yeah, that's fair.
Giselle dies in 6, and I'm like, it's a little sad, I guess.
She wanted to be Wonder Woman, though. That meteoric rise is,
she
awesome.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her indeed. But like it was the hype machine for this that I did not understand. Because you'll have to remind me, because I am forgetful. Venom didn't have this hype machine. I know it had a lot of fans
it did not.
who were excited, but it didn't have a engine behind it that was like, this movie's going to blow your mind.
I really do think, I 100% think, like, looking back, 2018 and 2019 were so similar in terms of like the construction of the superhero movies that with 2019, you had, like right now, we had Captain Marvel, who cares, Endgame, big, giant spectacle, oh my god, it's the biggest game changer, whatever, kind of sat on the throne for a few months. Then, like, a likable but very much average Marvel movie followed it. And there's probably, like, a shitty X-Men movie in the middle. But then there was this, Joker, which was the, like, turn the genre on its head. Oh, boy, dark. And it's the opposite of all these Marvel movies. So if you've already gotten over the buzz from that big one that everyone, like, was pretty on board with, and then you watch the one after it and you were like, oh, God, this, like, average movie. You got a cool palate cleanser of, like, this is what real movies, superhero movies should be. I feel like that happened last year, too, with Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Venom. And I think Venom, compared to this, sucks. There is nothing about Venom that is better than any individual thing about this. But
the unintentional comedy.
Yeah, there's that for sure. And there's bits about this that are funny, that are on purpose funny, that in a Venom would be a mistake, like, accidentally funny.
Yeah.
Though I do think there are 2, maybe let's say 3 unintentionally, not like funny moments, but like groany moments in this one, which we'll touch on. But yeah, so I think they both kind of happened in the same part of the year, and the year was constructed in a pretty similar way that they were bound to that like we go through a cycle where by this point in the year we're like, give me something different than Marvel. I'm tired of all this Marvel blah blah blah. Give me something cool and edgy or flashy. And like Venom screwed up last year and was bad. I mean, it made $1 billion, but it's not a good movie. And then Aquaman came in and was like, oh no, I'm the new thing. And then everyone, lost their minds for Aquaman. And Aquaman was good. Like, I enjoyed Aquaman. And I think Aquaman is good at being what it is. But yeah, so where we are now, I think we're at the Venom stage where everyone just wants a character-driven, darker superhero movie that doesn't feel like cookie-cutter Marvel, blah, 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 blah.
But this is not the answer to that, because this is your superhero movie that's way too fat. The superhero elements are really bad and bog down the rest of what some may argue could be like a good movie.
And
that's the problem.
And even more so than with Venom, it seems ashamed to be a superhero movie or a comic book movie in general. And even more so than Venom, it seems to be ignoring the parts of the character that would make it a different kind of movie. Like, I mean, there's a lot about Venom, like, as a character. They have to go kind of like, all right, so he's usually kind of this and this and this. And a lot of that is his relationship with Spider-Man. So if you say, let's make a Spider-Man or a Venom movie without Spider-Man or a new Joker movie without Batman, then what do you got? What's your Joker and what's your Venom? I think they more or less got Venom right. He's crude. He's like a bad influence. He wants to kill people when Eddie Brock doesn't. He's a big muscle guy, whatever. I think with this, because of what the kind of movie they wanted to make, which was really, and if you haven't seen it, people who are watching this, and you don't have to watch the whole movie, but just like watch the trailer for The King of Comedy. It's a good movie. It's Robert De Niro as a stand-up comedian who is obsessed with who plays Jerry Lewis, who is in this movie what Robert De Niro is, and it's like a Scorsese movie from his, like, the time when Scorsese was just knocking out hit after hit after hit in the 80s. So he wanted to make this, but I do think he kind of, like, left some of the really important things about the Joker behind, and it makes this movie feel very hollow as a Joker movie. Which isn't good, which really does make me go like, well, if you don't think this could stand on its own, and take the word Joker off, like, if you think this is as good as it is, take the word Joker off it and put it in the world and see how it does. Because this does not need to be a Joker movie, and
it shouldn't be.
No, yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. There have been a lot of problems in the last couple of years with, like, adapting characters and, like, can Batman kill? Can he not kill? What's the Superman movie got to be like? What doesn't it have to be like? But I think we need to keep having that conversation because some movies get it more right than others. And I think this one got parts of it right, but other parts of it very wrong. Basically, this Joker is an idiot. And not just in the sense that, like, he clearly has some sort of, like, mental illness that is part of it also. Like, that's part of his personality, and it's a big driver of the plot in general. But just compared to the cleverness of the original Joker and how good he is at scheming and stuff, and every iteration of the Joker ever has been, including, you know, the 80 or the 66 one, like, this Joker isn't even kind of on that level. And I'm glad we watched all of the Jokers to kind of get prepared for it, because stuff like that really stuck out. As like, well, he's not in the same camp as these guys.
This Joker's so far afield from any other Joker. Like, even the Cesar Romero one makes a lot of sense in the context of that movie and what everyone else is doing around him.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the laws of that universe and movie and everything they're telling you, you go, oh, that makes sense. I get why they're doing it this way. I get why he's going yo-ho, because that's clearly his character, and that's what he wants to do.
Were you listening for a yo-ho in here? I kind of was. It didn't happen.
I was thinking, how many yo-hos am I going to give all these things? And I was thinking about doling out negative yo-hos. That's how bad it was getting.
So I talked to a couple people about this at New York Comic Con, about my yo-ho thoughts, and I do have... I think the scale doesn't necessarily need to be adjusted, but it needs to be explained, because this Joker kind of breaks it. But, okay. So I'm going to talk non-spoilers. Then we're going to do nitpicks and spoilers. There's a lot going on in this movie. I would say most of it is kind of a spoiler. I think if you kind of have seen the trailer, you have a pretty good sense for what's going on. There's really two plot points, one a thing that happens, and one that a character learns. And you know what, maybe a third thing that a character learns. Those are the plots, like the things that can be spoiled. All the rest of it, it's more or less what you'd expect.
Is it?
Like, if you watch the trailer and it's like, oh man, he's a poor schlub who everybody kicks him and then he gets his revenge. He shows all them. That's kind of what it is, right?
Sure. There's one quote unquote twist that everyone's like, this is obvious, and I didn't see it coming, and I don't
know how you missed it.
I'm an idiot, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there's that, and then there's the other plot point that just is the movie keeps waffling on, but is another kind of reveal. And then there's just how the movie ends. I'd say those three things are like kind of what you should be looking out for. Not be looking out for, but things we won't talk about here. But let's start talking about this. 2019's Todd Phillips is the last Joker king of Comedy Fight Club. Taxi Driver edition. What did you think?
Oh, that's interesting.
It's mostly, it's mostly Taxi Driver, but it's got all the Taxi Driver-ness with, like, I don't even know. See, this is how bad this movie is with characters that aren't the Joker. I don't know any of their names. Zazie Beetz' character.
That's true.
Whoever she is, it's like he's trying to date her. It's fine.
Do you know in like reality shows, in like the confessional booth, there's a little chyron below everyone that like shows their name and like what this show needed this movie needed chyrons for every other character.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think most of them. Well, like almost all of them in my head, because you had, okay, so let's go through the cast. It's a good place to start. Joaquin Phoenix played Arthur Fleck. I still cannot get away with cannot believe they got away with calling this character Arthur Fleck. Like Affleck.
Fleck.
Like Affleck, like Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
They gave it. It's so funny and it's so mean. But hey, man, that's comedy. You got to be edgy. He's the main guy. He's in pretty much every scene. I think there's only one thing that happens in the movie that he does not see. And it is, I would say, the worst thing the movie does. The individual, dumbest, most groan-worthy thing. Oh, no. That I'm like, if this whole movie ended and nobody told him stuff, he wouldn't know that happened because he wasn't part of it. Everything else, I'm pretty sure he's in every other scene. You know, other things, he like sees flashbacks, but they're as he is reading them. Like, it's Joaquin Phoenix on screen pretty much the whole time.
I cannot think of, like, what the thing is.
We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Right.
What did you think of Joaquin Phoenix?
Great,
got a weird body.
Fantastic. Makes the whole movie.
Thank God for him. He's same with Tom Hardy in Venom. If Tom Hardy was boring, that movie would be abysmal.
It'd be terrible.
You'd never be able to sit through it. But because he's all crazy and funny and stuff, this is different because this is actually good. But just Tom Hardy and Joaquin Phoenix both giving it their all is the main factor in how this movie succeeds or fails.
Yeah, agreed. So much.
What'd you think of his, like, character? What'd you think of the character of Arthur?
Okay, so this is one of the things that, like, makes me uncomfortable, and I definitely don't have not credentials isn't the word, but, like, I don't have the ability to, like, properly, like, make an analysis on this.
Oh, don't worry, DJ, neither does the movie. There's no, like, specificity to it.
All right, well, what I was going to say is, like, I think the character, like, I saw what they were going for, but I feel like there's a lot of inconsistencies in terms of, like, how they do the slippery slope for how his, like, debilitation, like, goes. Like, it goes from, like, 0 to 1,000,000, and how much of it is the mental illness? How much of it is that he doesn't have his meds or someone to talk to or the stuff with his mom? It is the idea that everything is building towards some kind of, oh, look, this is what society does to those who are left behind. I do not think the message of the movie is to fucking just blame society and be like, you die, you die, you die. But, you know, whatever.
I think this Joker movie... I think there's a couple of, like, general takeaways that I think you can get from just what they were going for with Joaquin Phoenix, which is, like, and I think they're super, like, surface level in terms of, I've heard people talk about, I've listened to people talk about this movie and just like, oh, it's a movie about mental health and it's a movie about class and stuff. And, like, it is, but it's not, because it's about mental health just enough to say that the moral of the story is do good mental health. In the same way that the moral of the story is do good class. Like, it doesn't have anything to say about either of them besides just like, this guy gets mental health care and then he does it and then boy howdy stuff happens.
Yeah, society fucked him and it's society's fault and yada yada.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's the same, like, we know, okay, so things we know about Arthur Fleck. He has a disease, some sort of, like, neurological condition, I guess, where he laughs uncontrollably. It seems to be kind of specific to stressful situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Or gets, like, nervous and doesn't know what to do, or upset.
Yeah. And like, again, this is why the performance is good. It's a weird thing that no one's ever done before, and he's good. Like, Joaquin Phoenix is very good at it. And a worse actor would make it real. It would look so stupid. Like,
yeah, agreed.
I can imagine any other Hangover mainstay, Todd Phillips' Hangover, would be able to do a okay to bad version of this, and you'd be like, oh god, this movie stinks. I don't know, actually, they're all pretty good actors. Bradley Cooper could probably do a pretty decent version of this character. Zach Galifianakis could probably do a pretty decent version of this character.
I couldn't see Ed Helms. I just, like,
no,
can't.
He's the one that I'm like, he's not bad, but it's probably not his bag. And then obviously Ken Jeong would be the perfect Joker.
Oh, God.
We got to get over our predispositions about what Joker is. I want a Doctor
Be a hell
Joker.
of a Joker movie.
But so he has this neurological condition that forces him to laugh a lot. Besides that, though, he's definitely depressed to some extent. He says that a couple times.
The movie opens with that scene where he's forcing himself to smile and he's crying.
And he has like negative thoughts. All he has are negative thoughts.
Yep.
Which, nothing wrong with that, but I don't think the movie gets deeper than that when it comes to those things. To the extent that later in the movie, he's not taking his pills because he doesn't have healthcare to provide them, I guess. And he starts going off the deep end, and I forget if a character asks him if he's taking his pills or if he's like, I'm not taking my pills anymore. So it's like that kind of like, for at least from what I got, that's the level of like specificity we were getting at there. Like, if he goes off his pills, things go wild, which seems pretty uninteresting to me. It seems like what they did in the second Thor movie with the scientist, and like, I don't know, thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
you remember
I don't actually, because I don't remember anything about the second Thor movie, unfortunately.
He's the one that goes with Thor to the Cave of Wonders. He's the one who's like...
Yes.
There's a bit where he like goes crazy because of all his Asgard, exposure, I guess, because he never went there. But then he's like in a psychiatric hospital, and they grab him. They're like Darcy and friends are like, we need you, and then he has a big bag of pills, and right before like the triumphant finale, like throws them in the trash. I don't need these anymore. There is Thor. I'm not crazy. Which, like, I guess everyone should believe this guy because there is clearly Thor, but also like, hey man, maybe you probably could check on those meds. Maybe you need them, or maybe not, or I don't know. It seems like it's probably more complicated than just throw them all in the trash or don't. But
yeah, not a great
movies like to make it pretty simple.
So in this instance, right, the one thing that gives me pause is that I feel like the movie is trying to send some kind of message that, look, this is what happens when you forget about someone in society, right? Like these are the ones who are left behind, and these are the consequences. And it's more than, well, it's he didn't get his pills because they ran out of funding and people didn't care, and the woman was like, no one gives a shit about you, and that's sad, but there's probably some truth to that. I don't think it should have been a part of a Joker movie. Let me be very clear. But maybe that's like one of the things they were trying to go for.
Well, I think the trickiness of it and like the just like prickliness of it is part of why the Joker usually doesn't have an origin story, is because if you're going to make a crazy clown man, when you start drilling into why he's crazy or what's crazy about him, like with air quotes, it gets a little tricky. And unless you want to do a blanket like judgment on it's A, society, or B, he has mental health issues, like those aren't deep enough. Those are pretty shallow, but the deeper into that you get, the more you have to like get specific, and it just is tough, which is part of why I think there's a million other reasons why a Joker origin story doesn't work, but this is the big one of them, is you have to, and like this is why I think it's such a strange choice to make the Joker because this movie's based on like I said, all these Scorsese movies, and also kind of the Killing Joke, which is the comic where you get a glimpse at what the Joker is all about, and he is a failed stand-up comedian, which is part of this. But I mean, it's very loosely adapted from that. But the idea there is what comes up in The Dark Knight, which is that like you can be any schmuck in the city, and then one bad day, and then you lose it, and you turn into the Joker, which is a lot more like kind of poetic and detached from reality than stop taking your pills, and then, if this person dies and this person lies to you, you turn into the Joker. I think that's why that works better than this does. But I think it's so strange that this movie starts with him having all kinds of like specific conditions and things like that, because then you have to like really zero in on what are those, and is he bad because of them? Is he bad because of society? Is he bad because of like pollution? What is it? What is it about him that's bad?
Those are the parts where it's not clear where the deterioration is coming in, and then the movie loses an overall message. Because I think one of the biggest problems with the movie is that because it doesn't hone in on what it wants to be, it fails to be anything. It doesn't pick a thing and stick with it, because we don't have the Joker's inner monologue, and we can't trust anything he says, so we don't know why he's doing half the shit he's doing.
Yeah.
And like, at least, and we talked about this with The Dark Knight, but you know, a lot of it seems random, and you know, is he just an anarchist? Is he just, you know, what he says, where he's just a dog running around doing whatever? But at least that's more believable based on what he's doing, and you could chalk it up to, you know, he is just the agent of chaos that he claims, and there's nothing more to it than that. You could make that argument, you know, whether or not you agree with it, separate issue. So
yeah, and I think it's easy to have a Joker and say like, well, okay, what's his deal? Well, he wants these things, and he gets them this way, and he says he's this, but we don't really know if that's true. So we probably shouldn't dwell on what he says about himself, part of his identity. We should really just be paying attention to what he's doing. And this movie doesn't do that because it can't, because like this Joker is it has to spend all of its time figuring out why he's doing what he's doing. It's just like, it's so funny because it's like, if there was one character in science fiction, in anything, who you'd have to explain what they do and like really give them a justification for all of their issues and their, you know, like revenge they've taken and everything they've done, he's the hardest one because he is the most crazy. And I'm like, you know, throwing my hands up. He's crazy. Like, he's crazy, the Joker. Yeah. He's unpredictable. Because Batman is the most not crazy and crazy. But, like, Batman's the most methodical. And, like, he has rules. And he plays by the book. And he's this, and this. And we know exactly what his origin is. We know exactly what motivates him. So, to have someone on the other side of that, we need someone who we know nothing about. And he's completely unpredictable. So, like, getting to the core of what that character is, it's like borderline impossible. And I think it's great that we chose somebody to do it who seems to hate comic books and doesn't even want to kind of acknowledge them outside of just naming every building Gotham blank. I think that was a really successful shot at that. But
yeah, that was
all that being said, Joaquin Phoenix, great. Joaquin Phoenix, just I had guacamole tonight. I've still got it on the brain. Joaquin Phoenix, great.
I like that.
Great in this, great in Young Indiana Jones. No, just kidding. That was Robert Phoenix. That was his brother. Joaquin Phoenix was Superman back in the day in some sort of old show. So he has gone from Superman to Joker. Yep.
Meteoric rise. How about that?
I mean, or fall, you know? It's he's played both, or actually it was Superboy. I wanted to Google it now. He's been on all sides of the map. You never know what to expect when you get a Joaquin Phoenix movie or show or, you know, whatever the hell this Superboy thing was. Anyway, so you have other characters that are more or less not in the movie. There's one that I'd say gets enough screen time to be actually considered a character, and that's Joker's mom, Penny Fleck, played by an actress named Frances Conroy. She's pretty good. I don't know who this actress is. I haven't watched anything she's in.
Yeah,
that's
same.
Not true at all. She's in Arrested Development.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm covered. I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
And thought she was good at doing the one thing of being crazy.
She's pretty crazy. Boy, howdy. Crazy and just out there crazy. Like that very special kind of like, oh, Arthur, you're my good boy crazy. But she's the only one that I think they came, like, she went to the set on the day and they were like, okay, so your character is not exactly you from every movie you've been in. It's this other thing. Whereas there's the rest of the cast, which is Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Mark Maron, Shea Whigham, Bill Camp, and Brett Cullen. And I would say they are more or less just be your normal guy.
Who was Mark Maron?
He was like the producer for the Murray Franklin show. Oh. He's in the movie for like a minute max.
Okay.
He has 2 lines, but he was in there. He's just a name. I mean, there's other people that are in there. You got a guy named Leah Gill and Glenn Fleischer, who are fellow fellow clown associates, but the ones I named, let's go down the list. Robert De Niro plays a character named Murray Franklin. He is the Johnny Carson talk show host of this universe. Jimmy Fallon for you youngins.
You youngins.
He's an awful Jimmy Fallon. Imagine though if that was what they were going to. In 30 years when they remake this and it's an older Joaquin Phoenix is playing Jimmy Fallon, it's gonna be real sad.
People aren't gonna know what to do.
Zazie Beetz plays Sophie Dumond. I don't know. I didn't even know she had a name. She's Arthur's neighbor. And in spite of every single thing about him, she is interested in him. Isn't that strange?
Yes.
Then you have Shea Wingham and Bill Camp, the two detectives. Shea Wingham, I don't know who Bill Camp is. He looked kind of familiar. He's from stuff. Nothing that I recognize. But then Shea Wingham is he's the brother in, I think he is. He's the brother in the show where everyone was Boardwalk Empire. He's in Agent Carter. He shows up in places. He's fun. I like him. He was in a little bit of True Detective. So they were both cops in Gotham. I don't think either of those characters are named cops. Neither of them were Gordon or, the other one that always pops around in
insert
Gotham
name
PD.
Of cop here.
So then, Mark Maron was just some producer. Like I said, he had 2 lines. And then Brett Cullen played, this can't be right, Thomas Wayne.
What?
From DC Comics? I'm pretty sure none of these other characters from DC Comics. Thomas Wayne is supposed to be a misprint. Yeah. Brett Cullen is a guy, who was, he was in, this guy's got a credits. He was in The Dark Knight Rises as Congressman. He was in Ghost Rider 1 as Barton Blaze, I'm assuming the dad. He was in the most recent season of True Detectives, which I did not see. Devious Maids, Under the Dome. I mean, he was fine. But he's in some stuff too, so you may recognize him if you watched a lot of TV stuff like Damages. He's fine. But yes, he played Thomas Wayne inexplicably.
What an interesting choice to put Thomas Wayne in this movie.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would just assume it's some sort of disconnected. Wait a second. There's also other characters in this movie.
No.
An actor named Douglas Hodge plays a Alfred Pennyworth.
That's interesting.
Some kid named Dante Piera Olsen plays Bruce Wayne, but he's so young, he must just be a child.
Yes.
He's Bruce Wayne. He's in movies like You Were Never Really Here, that movie with what's-his-name, with Joaquin Phoenix. And he was in probably one episode of Jessica Jones. This guy seems like a real actor, and he looks like a young Bruce Wayne. Oh boy, doesn't he? Yeah. The names of actors the names of characters in this movie are kind of fun. There's 3 actors, each named Wall Street 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I want the one that knows all the show tunes. Who are you? Carl Lundstedt, probably.
Oh, God.
He's pretty good.
Send the
So, okay. So those are all the actors. They're all great.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix is good. All the rest of them are fine. What else? Nice things. I do think, it's funny, because it's directed by Todd Phillips and it's written by Todd Phillips. So on the written by Todd Phillips side, not all that impressed. On the directed by Todd Phillips side, pretty good.
Okay.
Got good performances out of Joaquin Phoenix, and a movie looked good.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
I think editing, it could have used a little. I think you could have chalked 10 minutes off of it, and it would have been very
chunked so much of this movie.
I'm wondering why it didn't end the way it almost ended before it didn't end that way, and then we got more movie.
Because we needed more movie, Nando. We didn't get the full, throat of what the movie was going for. So,
need more. I got so much of this movie, too much, in fact. It also was written by someone named, sorry, I have this open, Scott Silver. Not sure who this guy is. He wrote Joker. Oh yeah, and The Fighter and 8 Mile. So. Feels about right.
I could see how this movie is also like 8 Mile. We could add that to the list of things this movie is.
And Fighter, movie where a guy just gets kicked for a while and because he is poor. But yeah, I'd say on the directing side, it was pretty good. On the writing side, not as good. And I do think this movie spins out of control at the end for a bunch of different reasons. But I think there's bits in the beginning where I'm like, oh, this is kind of subtle. I wonder where it's going with this. And then where it's going with this is that a character is going to tell you where it's going with this in a monologue, like a soliloquy almost.
And it's going to be predictable. Like,
yeah,
besides
it's
the fact that
exactly
like
what
even
you'd
if
expect.
he didn't tell you, you would know. It
Oh,
hurts
yeah.
even more that he tells you.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
I
It's
wonder
tough.
if one of the reasons why I was so dismayed by this movie is because in my head I'm like, did they leave a lot on the table? Was there more there that could have been explored? And part of me is like, nah, but maybe.
I think there was more, except for that there wasn't. Like, I think there was a lot. I think there was this movie was very much like hamstrung by just the idea of like in theory, a Joker movie is such a tricky animal to put in a box. I'm not shocked that it's kind of all over the place, but I just can't see how. I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. But
I think part of it too is that I could see a movie that could exist here that isn't a Joker movie, that has an entirely different premise, and the Jokerness of it bogs down, which I know I've already said. But the reason why I bring that up is because if it was tighter and tried to drill into a single theme, great. Or I even think that, and maybe this wasn't preferable, but if they avoided a lot of like the mental illness stuff that they couldn't drill in down and just do like a Red Hood style origin story, that might have worked. Because yeah, like Joker's backstory is supposed to be very questionable. You're not exactly sure what it is, but we have one. And outside of the failed comedian bit, this didn't use any of it. No vats of acid. Which I guess take it or leave it. That's if you were like, oh no, why wasn't that there? Then I'm sorry. But if it's more of like I'm glad, then well, what did you want?
No, I think you need a vat of acid. I really do.
Okay,
I think you need. Yeah, I think you need a vat of acid the same way I think Superman needs to come from Krypton, because otherwise a guy picking up a bus seems a little weird. But I think you need a guy to be dropped in a vat of acid so you can just go, well, I guess now he's a supervillain. I guess now he's smarter than everyone else and crazy, but not for a way that you, a theater goer, could be. Like, I think you can still comment on society, but I always thought the interesting thing about Joker was that he was trading on this psycho clown thing as a way to get what he wants. Like, he is also like a psycho clown killer, whatever, but also he's kind of more than that. And it's as much of a part of his identity as like just being a criminal mastermind is. And the fact that this movie was about a Joker that was at no point a criminal mastermind is a very big, like, not like detriment, but it's just like, well, that's the main thing about the character. So then what is he? What's this guy do? What's he do after this? Assuming he survives the movie, which might be a spoiler, but like, what's his next day? Go to jail, I guess. I don't know. He's like, he's not good. He's not good at any of this.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's randomness that happens in this movie, which I don't buy, by the way, because it's too much randomness.
He's the luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
Circumstances permitting, like considering all of the things that have already happened to him. From the moment we start, from the moment things start kind of going crazy, he gets super lucky.
Did you say crazy?
Crazy, DJ. Like crazy. Society. DJ, what do you think about society? Real quick.
I think society's wrong and we need to get rid of society. Cancel society. That's what I say.
Oh, yeah. Society is not good. Rich people also not good. I'm also
poor people also not good.
No, poor people bad too. Everybody's bad, really. Yeah. Riots bad, good, like poor people bad, rich people bad.
Everyone bad.
Yeah, clowns bad, cops bad. Little people good. They are forgiven in this movie. They're the one group that makes it unscathed.
It's right. That's the lesson, right? Outgroup good, I guess.
Yes, that's right. But besides that, everyone's bad except for no one. Pretty much everyone's bad. Little old lady's good. We'll explain that one later. DJ, should people see this movie or not?
So I felt bad. I told someone at work today that they shouldn't see this movie because it's bad, and I'm like, oh, I kind of wanted to see it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? If you wanted to see it, go see it. Like, if you had your heart set on this movie, go see it. If you're on the fence, I'd say pass. I don't think there's enough there to really facilitate it. You gotta get there now, son. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's there. So.
No, not at all. Oh, and also all of the hoopla around it is stupid, and this is just such a bad movie to be it's I mean, there was no way it was going to live up to the like, oh my god, this is going to turn society on its head and theaters will all be chaotic and stuff. Like, it's such a nothing movie.
Yeah, that was strange as hell.
CNN just keeps posting articles about it. They just waiting, man. It's such a weird, like, it's such a, like, I cannot see this movie inspiring anyone to do anything.
I really want to know where the intel for that FBI report came from. I want to know. Was it like they were talking about clown cells, like,
yeah,
you know, which like might have been credible, but I want to know from where. Because, like, I can't see this movie saying, like, oh, yeah, we gotta rise up. Because I don't think it's relatable.
No, yeah, I think everybody that leaves the theater either goes, well, Joaquin Phoenix is pretty good, or like, ugh, I don't know about this. But I think I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I think we have to... I don't think we'll get another one of these in a while, so hopefully we don't have to go through all this again. But
do you think like a 90-minute, and I'll leave this point because I know I've brought it up like 3 times, but do you think a 90-minute Joaquin Phoenix movie trying to talk about mental health like could have been, you know, successful, where he has a laughing disorder? I do think the laughing disorder could have been like played up a little more. It only happens once.
Happens a couple times.
Yeah.
The laughing, I mean,
yeah,
you could make a good version of this movie, but I really do think the character would have to be, I think having the character be as extreme as the Joker has to be and needs to be, and he needs to cause a riot and he needs to shake the foundation of society. That forces this character to be like this superhuman, whatever it is. Like, he has to have some sort of like, he has to be a super crazy killer man. And if you do that, then I don't think you could do that in 90 minutes.
Yeah, there's just not enough time.
Yeah, and like, I just don't think it's, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. I've heard people describe him as like a proto-Joker. Like, he would inspire the real Joker, but then who cares?
Yeah, that's true.
Joker could just read a comic book, see the Joker in it, and go, I guess I should be the Joker then. I don't know why we have to watch the whole movie. Yeah, this is a fun movie. I think, you know what? I would say if this movie is trying to make one point, like really, not like saliently, but like pretty concisely, it's that you shouldn't give people guns. Give a person a gun, bad things happen. Yeah, like, this whole thing is going okay, and then someone hands this guy a gun, and then immediately things go out of control.
I like that a lot, actually.
I think that's what the movie's about, except for that it isn't, because
no.
I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of gun in this movie. It's very gun heavy.
Oh yeah,
it's a great movie. All right, DJ, do you want to get the spoilers?
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay. So, before we get to that, let's talk about the Jokeriness of it. Let's talk about its yo-hos.
Oh god, 0 all around. I can't.
You're out of your mind.
Any yo-hos for any.
I can give any.
Joker.
None for
because
laugh.
He's not the Joker
even?
to me. He's just a guy. The laugh. It was a disorder. It feels. I don't know. Am I gonna rate his disorder laugh?
Yes, DJ. Rate his laugh.
Fuck.
Rate him as a crazy person.
Yo-hos. I don't know. Make it stop.
Wow. Not even nice at all. I think he deserves.
Am I being too harsh? I'm sorry.
I think he deserves.
Negative. I have a lot of negative thoughts.
You do have only negative thoughts. That's going to be a lot of yearbook quotes.
Are we allowed to make fun of this movie? Or are we going to get canceled for making fun of this movie?
I don't care. Me and Todd Phillips will make our own comedy without all this PC police. He's just so short-sighted. Why would you come at it? It's like, I have no opinion of Todd Phillips. I had a feeling this movie wasn't like completely, I don't know. Like, I think I had no opinion of Todd Phillips. I enjoyed the first Hangover movie. I think War Dogs is pretty fun. Although I think it's like, you know, I think it's a little one note. But once you go beyond that and you get this whole like, man, PC culture, you can't be funny anymore. It just makes me, I have such a hard time taking you seriously. Oh boy. I'm giving it 10 yo-hos all around.
Stop it. You don't mean that.
Okay.
You're a liar.
So he gets, so he has to get 10 yo-hos for a laugh because he's got a great laugh. And
I already gave the Dark Knight Joker 10 yo-hos for a laugh. Or maybe 10 yo-hos. I already gave him my 10 yo-hos, and 5. I don't care. Come at me. 5 at me.
So he gets 10 yo-hos from me. He gets 10 yo-hos for clowniness because he's a clown. That's pretty unimpeachably yo-hos. Again, it's almost like Todd Phillips saw our yo-ho scale and went, all right, so what does this Joker have to do? He has to laugh a lot, he has to be a clown, and he has to kill people. I think he made the crucial mistake of not syncing any of those things up together. Because, like, the fun of Joker is not that he kills people and then laughs afterwards and then dresses up like a clown after that. It's that he does all the things at the same time. Like, so this Joker gets 10 yo-hos, not 10 for kills, but, like, he gets 10 for laughs, 10 for clown, and then maybe, like, 6 for kills. But the problem is, because they don't, like, ever meet, it's not a good, he doesn't do very well in the yo-hos category.
Okay. I see what you're going for. I don't vehemently disagree, but I disagree.
I mean, I think that's the big problem, is it's just like it feels to me like such a surface level understanding of what the Joker is. I think it's our fault for creating this rating system. Todd Phillips, he couldn't help himself but check on what the pros were talking about, what they expect from a Joker, and he made that Joker movie for maximum yo-hos. But in doing so, he accidentally lost track of the whole thing. It's a classic
yo-ho
blunder
movie. I think that's
he fell for the classic Joker yo-ho blunders. So yeah, I think there should be like a multiplier associated with the yo-hos. So like it should be like Guitar Hero, where he got a bunch of 10s, but they're all just 10s. But the other Jokers got 10s that multiply together, and then that's 100. So it's worth thinking about.
Sure. I was really let down by this movie, man. I actually kept some level of optimism, like it's gonna be good, because
You're hoping this would fix everything.
Well, it'll fix society.
Like society, sure. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been nice? You walk out of this movie and everybody's shaking hands, like, you know what, we were all wrong.
You get what you fucking
deserve. Would you say people should see this movie, like, because it's like you can't take kids to it, obviously. Do you think the spoilers are worth seeing it now versus just waiting?
Oh, that's a good question. My catchphrase, great point, Nando. Wait. Just wait.
Yeah, me too. I think you can wait. I think there's spoilers, but I don't think they're that great. Yeah. I think it's I think there's stuff, like if you just want to go to a movie theater and watch Joaquin Phoenix act really well, then that'll be there. You're going to go and you're going to feel good about yourself. But if you want to see a good Joker movie, I think this is like better than Suicide Squad, but not very good in terms of just like, I don't think this is very terrific representation of the character. I think if you showed someone this, they'd be like, wait, this is the Joker?
They wouldn't believe you. They'd think you were liking them or something like that.
This is the one everyone loves so much? You guys, like, I don't think this Joker is better than the Heath Ledger Joker at being what this Joker is trying to be.
I don't think it's better than the Cesar Romero Joker.
No, I don't think that either, but I at least think this Joker is trying to be like realistic Joker, and I don't think he's better than Heath Ledger Joker at being that.
Right.
Like, I think you could transmit the Heath Ledger Joker in here and be like, oh yeah, that's about the same. Different, but similar. Yeah. They both hate society. Like, the problem with Jokers are they all have some sort of like relationship with Batman. And I don't want to spoil it for you, DJ, but Batman doesn't show up in this movie.
What? Wait.
I know.
Get out of here.
Well, did you say for the post-credit scene? You flash forward, and then they have a big fight, and he says, I'm not wearing hockey pads, and then he throws him off of a church tower, and then and then the Joker hits the ground, crashes into a million Legos. They blended everything. They got all the Jokerisms together.
That's amazing.
I knew which boxes they had to check. All right, let's talk spoilers.
All right.
So we'll do nitpicks as we go here, but also we'll just talk spoilers. What'd you think of the end of the movie? Well, okay, hold on. All right, so there's 3 things that are spoilers that I were like, these are the spoilers that we have to kind of hold. First one, Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
You never believe it, TJ. She actually didn't go to him to his open mic night where he bombed and laughed at him encouragingly.
What? Get out of here.
So Zazie Beetz' character, there are people that haven't seen the movie but don't care, because it's fine. I'd already forgot what the character's name was. I closed the IMDb page. Zazie Beetz is Domino in like Deadpool, and she's in Atlanta, and she's great. In this, she is this neighbor who is like pretty and nice to him once, so he follows her to her work, and then she shows up at his house and says his name without having gotten it from him. That's suspicious. And then they go on a bunch of dates that don't happen for sure. Like, there's no way any of them happen. Like, in the moment, I'm pretty unsold by them. I don't know, but you said you weren't caught by that. Like, that caught you by surprise.
Yeah, and apparently everyone's like, it was so obvious from even the trailer. And I'm like, oh, God. I
Little
guess I'm
bit,
just a
yeah.
fool.
I mean, he just sucks. Like, there's nothing about him. Then I'm like, well, what does she see in him? And
I thought,
the first meeting,
I thought it
I'm
might
like,
have been a
okay.
huge pity thing. Honestly, that's what I was going for. I'm like, they're flipping it on its head. You know, he's still
that would have
Joaquin
been something.
Phoenix, I guess. So,
Like,
that's what I thought.
You didn't have no lights went off when she called him Arthur without having met him before, really?
So I thought maybe they had met before. The real red flag when I was like, wait, that's off, is when, and this should have been super obvious, but after he stalks her, and she's like, oh, I wish you robbed the place. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I guess she's just really cool. Like, that's what I said.
She was really cool, considering all things considered.
I'm a fucking moron, I know, but it's just, oh, God. How I didn't know that.
Without that one scene, so let's say she met him, and so they meet, they go to things, like they go to his open mic night, which he bombs at, and then she is like inexplicably laughing at. Then she goes and, they walk around the city. She's at his mom's hospital for some reason. Like, let's say all that happened and you weren't, like, caught off guard. Then the scene where he goes to her house and sits there and she's like, oh, my God, you're that guy Arthur, right? Go home. Without seeing the Fight Club flashback, would you have figured it out?
Yeah. Because I knew that it's when they were in there and she was like, oh my God, and that's, okay. Figured it out.
I really wish they hadn't done that flashback.
Why?
I think it was pretty kind of obvious and annoying. It felt very much like, yeah, get it, guys? It's what it is. Like, you'd never believe that we tricked you. I mean, I guess if you were even kind of tricked by it, it's less stupid. But if you weren't tricked by it at all, it's like, yeah, I know. She was never there because she's pretty and he's dumb and he sucks and he's a weirdo and she would never like him and she sees normal.
Thanks, movie.
There's just nothing about it that it just doesn't make any sense to me. But there are people that think she's dead. Did you get you probably didn't get that sense at all that he kills her in that scene?
Oh no.
So in that scene, so this is what I heard. I didn't see it since then. He hears he leaves, and then you hear someone scream, and then as he's walking away from his apartment, there's an ambulance. Now, I don't think this holds up because he, you see him, all this happened, but right before that, when he leaves her apartment, someone closes the door behind him. So I was he probably didn't kill anybody there, but people think that's a thing.
I mean, it's in line with what he does, so who knows?
Yeah.
That's his whole thing, apparently.
I mean, this seems like it would be like Todd Phillips, well, I don't know. Did she kill him? Maybe.
Pinky at the end of the mouth, Dr. Evil style. It's your
Which
guess
one
as
would
good as
piss off
mine.
you guys most? Yeah. I'm pretty cool, guys. I'm Todd Phillips.
So he walks into a room. He goes, "I'm pretty cool, guys. I'm Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. I'm cooler than you guys. You babies. You PC babies."
I wish he didn't say anything. I would have given him a pass if he didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have cared nearly as much. But it is a really clear window into his thought process when you really get in there.
Yeah. See what's going on with the old brain juice. We call it the brain juice.
We do. Let me take a nice sip of brain juice real quick.
Ooh. Were there any, was that some good brain juice? Mostly nitpicking, brought to you by Brain Juice. Were there any parts of the movie that caught you by surprise? Because most of this movie is pretty straightforward, and you could see the whole thing coming.
Yeah,
I would say the last 20 minutes could be written by a freshman high school kid who wrote half of a screenplay.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I mean, it was the end of the movie is definitely the worst part, I would say, and it's probably the best acted part just because Robert De Niro's in it. But in terms of just how it how it plays out. It's pretty much, I'd say the whole movie is pretty much what you'd expect. I would say the bit where he shoots the guys on the train and when he kills the third guy, for me, I was like, oh, okay. Like, that was the only bit in the movie I remember where I was like, that's surprising.
Yeah, fair point.
He didn't really need to do that. He probably would have been okay. Not like would have been okay, but he didn't break that many laws. I guess he had a gun he wasn't supposed to have, but I don't know.
Yeah, like had he just like gone to that point and ended there, maybe not terrible, but now definitely confirmed terrible. So
yeah. I think otherwise it wasn't super surprising. Well, there was the other twist, which is the thing with his mom and dad. Do you want to explain that at all?
Oh, God. So the movie tries to thank you, and you don't believe it for a second. You never believe this, but the movie wants you to think that Arthur Fleck's father is Thomas Wayne, because he had an affair with Penny Fleck, his mom. And so it's like, your father is Thomas Wayne. And I didn't believe that for... I don't even want to say a second. I didn't believe that before it came out of Todd Phillips' brain. I never even came close to believing it.
Oh, yeah.
God, what a terrible thing to put out there.
Yeah, and it's pretty... I mean, I like, looking back, I kind of wish that's what they did. Like, I wish it was... Because the movie goes back on it immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, the movie is like, well, maybe it is still... maybe because she has a picture with TW on it, so who knows? Maybe they were. So, like, you can't win, Everything sucks. Like, I don't know. It's just like, everything's so up in the air. I mean, I don't think it's more interesting one way or the other because he doesn't have any interesting relationship with Batman. And because we don't get any Batman in this movie, like, as Batman. And Thomas Wayne is bad no matter what. Like, he's bad because he doesn't like the poor people. So when you get to the parts where it's like, oh, should I care if Thomas Wayne lives or dies? It's like, no, he's bad. He's bad whether he abandoned his mom or not. And also he's bad because everybody's bad. So I hope they all get what they fucking deserve according to the movie.
Get what you fucking deserve.
All right, so let's do some nitpicks. I got a bunch of good nitpicks here, DJ.
All right.
They're from a bunch of you guys I tweeted earlier today. Give us nitpicks about Joker. And talk about some of the other ones. Or talk about some of them. And then we'll kind of go over our own as well. But let's start here. This is a pretty fun one. DJ, I got a question. This is from Alexander Wallace. Why on earth would Thomas Wayne go out that night? It's a good question.
Great question. It's not a night to be going out. It's crazy out there. Is it just me or is it getting crazier out there?
Oh my God, DJ, it's just you. The riots are all normal and everyone has them all the time. There's riots and then they all go out to the movies, the movie theater. It's a movie theater, right? Not like a play?
That or an opera, I don't know. But yeah, not a night to be going out.
Figure you just go tomorrow,
It'll be
if
there.
The riots cool down, yeah. But no.
Unless they were dying to see Joker. Maybe that's what it was.
You got to see Joker. It's the movie of the year. Next, then Gemini Man, and then Frozen, probably. Those are the top three. Screw Endgame. Screw Captain Marvel. Those are the only other movies I remember. Those are Marvel movies. What else? Screw Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Shazam was also this year. Remember that? That was a fun one.
Oh, Shazam was.
Yeah.
Great movie. Great movie. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. So that one was good. Okay. The what did you think? So that was the other thing that really made me groan was the Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, Bruce bit at the end. I really hated that.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Someone made the point that like this Bruce did not emote at all, and like he's Batman, but he's a kid. Like he should be emoting more, right?
Yeah, like it's just a weird I don't know. They have a really weird relationship in that he puts his fingers in his mouth.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Like, Doug Bean says that scene at Wayne's Gate was kind of unnecessary. Alfred tells Arthur his mom is crazy, but then a couple scenes later, Thomas gives the same information with more detail. We don't need both scenes to say the same thing. They just wanted to show Bruce and Alfred. Yeah, I think that's fair.
I agree.
I'm trying to find the one with the emoting. King Daddy says, I appreciated them tying Bruce to the story, but I would rather they just stuck with Thomas. I like that dynamic way more. Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. How about this? This is from Wallace Shawn from The Haunted Mansion 2003. It's a fun name. Why not just keep the movie The Mask of Zorro? Is this right? Is that or The Mark of Zorro? Sorry. When Batman is killed, I want to say in this movie, it was called like The Blade of Zorro or something.
Okay.
It wasn't the normal, but it's usually The Mark of Zorro, which is the movie he's watching.
Okay.
But they didn't do that in this. They changed it, which is weird because it seemed like whatever they had on was like a throwback. Like it wasn't like they were watching it as if it came out the other day. They were watching an older one. You know, like they heard, we're going to go back and see the Mark of Zorro on the big screen, the one from the 20s. But yeah, in the original one, it's the Mark of Zorro. It's the one Batman v Superman. Yeah, it's Zorro the Gay Blade, and maybe it's just that's what it's called. Maybe it's just that was around at the time. I don't know, but I always assumed it was Mark of Zorro as well.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, so Zorro the Gay Blade came out in 1981.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
How about that?
Fun. Great. Is that why it's set in 1981?
Oh, maybe they had.
That might be the
I wonder
whole
if the
thing.
years work up. Like
Yeah,
I wonder if like by the time Batman becomes Batman, Joker's like 70.
Yeah, I
I'll
think that
get
could be
you,
it.
Bats.
Let's see. Okay, so we got some of those. We'll get other ones as we go. Okay. This one's from Hailey B. He ran so fast in clown shoes. The Joker
he
he
run
runs
so
weird.
fast in clown shoes.
I mean, you gotta. The kids are trying to take your sign. They're trying to hit you over the head and stuff. You better be able to run real fast.
Runs faster than you could possibly imagine. It's so fast.
Like,
oh man,
this kind of ties into Spooky Sydney. He gets beat up by the most cartoonishly evil bullies back to back for literally no reason. Quote, they robbed you for a sign? That doesn't make sense. Yep, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Why do they want that? Like, not like why do they want that sign, but what is it about him? People just hate him? Is that his superpower?
I wonder if those bullies are just like, maybe they find that clown company and they beat up on every single one. Like,
it seemed like an unusual thing, though. The boss was like, why would they beat you up for your sign, Joker, or whatever, Arthur? You give them your sign, they don't even want a sign. What are they going to do, spin it around? Get more attention for the company that makes them or whatever? That's great if they do that, but that's not what this is. Joker. It's weird because like someone else brought this one up. I have all these things here. Tick 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 tick.
Next up on the wheel.
Tick 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 tick. Come on. Where is it? There's someone here. I promise there's a nitpick here I'm looking for.
Which one is it? It's not the end of the movie studio one, is it?
No. Oh, okay. This one comes from, oh boy, Sourdough. Oh, Sourdough. Okay. I think the bigger question is why everyone in the movie is absolutely the worst person. It's like they had to make Joker somehow a reflection of society, so they made the worst society to justify Joker's creation. So that's part of it. I think like I don't completely buy him and his transformation because everybody around him is just the biggest jerk ever. It doesn't feel like realistic. The only character that's not a jerk and isn't lying to him doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty bad.
Zazie
they are all
Beetz is
a-holes.
Yeah, they're mean to him for no reason. Like
it's society's fault. Society pushed him down or whatever.
Does sign spinning work?
It gets you to look, I guess, right?
But like, does it though? Like, I'd love to see some research, but I can't imagine it makes very much of a like. It makes any difference whatsoever. Of just like.
Think it does nothing? Think all that sign spinning's for nothing, Nando? What are you,
crazy?
Kind of.
I mean, they must know something, so they must be like, I mean, maybe this is just the big clown business trying to get me to buy clowns for my failing whatever jewelry store.
Big clown.
Big clown. What like, is that a thing? Like a clown warehouse where the clowns all hang out and wait to be clowns at places?
It can't be. That can't actually be a thing. I refuse to believe that's a thing.
Was it in the 80s? Like, because now you'd all have your own website and email address, but these guys just like, come in, dress up like clowns. Hopefully, we'll send you to the hospital or whatever. We'll figure something out.
I mean, it makes more sense than the individual companies each having a clown for themselves, but this seems somehow even more implausible.
I guess it just seems like there would be a circus, and the circus would also have clowns, but he doesn't seem to have worked for a circus. He seems to be a, like, clown for hire.
Yeah.
He's a damn good one, except for when he gets beat to death. Then he's bad.
The thing with the gun is unintentionally funny, right? Or is it supposed to be funny? I'm not sure.
I think it's supposed to be funny. I do. I think they're nailing it.
Okay.
I think it was super funny. I think the whole thing with the gun, though, it's like, so has Arthur Fleck been beat up like that before?
I don't know.
So is it weird that he had, like, the guy gives him the gun. He's like, hey, man, you might need a gun. The kid's beating up everybody trying to get their signs.
What happened. Yeah.
But the boss is like, that's crazy. Why would they even be? It's just weird because, like, there's situations like that where you want to be like, no, Arthur, explain it. They'll get it. They took the sign and they broke it. What do you think? I'm trying to sell a sign on the side? No, it's a sign. Like, it's weird that they did that, but they did it. I'm sure people saw it. That's the guy who's in charge. I don't know. I have the pieces of the sign. I kept some of them, probably. I kept one of them, the one with the knob on it, because that's the one you use to spin it, I guess. Also, I didn't know there was, like, a knob. I thought people spun it with, like, magic spinning abilities.
I think that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't think there's typically a knob.
Yeah. Come on, Joaquin. Commit. I'm tired of all this nonsense, losing weight. Learn to spin a darn sign.
What are you doing, you lazy man?
Yeah, he's got weird shoulders. I mean, he's insanely skinny, which is great, I guess. I'm so tired of that. People losing or gaining a bunch of weight for a role.
But Nando, it's
commitment for the art and chicken and whatever. Broccoli, steamed vegetables.
What are you talking about? What does that have to do with anything?
That's what they eat. They only eat, like, it's like all the weird, like, Hollywood cutting and, like, I guess this is more for, like, your Chris Pratt. When you want to become a giant muscle man, you eat nothing but, like, grilled chicken and steamed vegetables all day forever, and you go insane.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, don't quote me on it, because I've never tried it, but it seems awful.
I'm going to quote you on it.
Let's ask you, I got one from Diego Rivera. This is nitpick. Why are those Wall Street guys riding a dirty train? No, they were pissed drunk, but they surely could have afforded a cab. Yeah, that's true. Those guys, man, speaking of the worst, they were all just the worst.
Why did they do it?
How'd they know the song?
That guy might just know the song.
Maybe he's just like a show tunes guy.
Yeah, he's really into it. I would believe that. It's like you know.
I know show tunes, and I don't know that song. What's it from?
Oh, no idea. I could not tell you.
Right? Like, it's not, it's not like it's, I mean, maybe, it's probably from something people know. Let's Google it. Send in the clowns.
The clowns.
He really got him. So it's a Frank Sinatra song. Barbra Streisand sang it, but, like, where'd it come from? Oh, it's from a musical called The Little Night Music. It's Sondheim. I don't know what that is.
You don't know Stephen Sondheim?
I don't know what a Stephen Sondheim is. Is he a society man? Is he some sort of anarchist we shouldn't trust?
Yeah, exactly.
Another nitpick, J.D. Samuels. Where did he get that suit from? He's supposed to be poverty-stricken, yet he has a purple suit lying around. That's a good question.
He probably stole it from his old company, right? That's my best guess.
You think it's a clown outfit? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he's probably... But, like, you have a dressing room at Clown Shop, right?
Yeah. So.
He didn't wear that home on the day.
No, that's true.
I don't think he was wearing that when he beat up all those nice Wall Street boys. Those poor boys.
The poor
You
boys.
didn't hurt those 3 boys, did you, sir? Such a weird way to question him at the end of the movie. Robert De Niro.
It's like, of course I didn't.
No, it wasn't me. Oh, okay, good. So back to your weird stand-up comedy that I'm promoting for you, I guess.
Why? Why? I'm so
checking on the riots. Yeah, why did he... Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense why he brought him to the thing. Why Joker was on that talk show at all. Let's talk about the end of the movie.
All right, let's please. I'm so ready.
So Joker has killed all the people that wronged him. Everybody that was bad. He killed his mom. He smothered her with a pillow, which seems really hard to do. It's like brutal. Not like really hard to do, but really hard to do and not get caught. Out of all of the murders he did and got away with, that one seems like the one where like people would find you, but they kind of do find him. But then afterwards, he kills the guy from Clown Work because he tries to kind of not even really extort him, but just like he seems to kind of be onto him. And also that guy gave him the gun, but then kind of sold him out. But he lets the little person go, which is a weird little
because he was kind to him.
So then the Joker only kills bad people, I guess, right?
I kind of buy that actually.
It's like a code, like Batman. Yeah.
like one person was nice, you'd be like, oh, that person's cool. I won't.
Yeah, it's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Maybe we're the Jokers.
One of the few parts of this movie, I believe.
So then, the Joker was caught on some sort of viral video from 1981, I guess, when The Gay Blade of Zorro was in theaters. And he's got on the David Letterman show, bombing at stand-up comedy, even though he is clearly, kind of mentally ill or something. It seems really shitty of whatever his name is, Murray Franklin, to do this to anyone, but definitely this guy.
Yeah, this is not the guy you should be doing this to, Murray Franklin.
Punch up, Murray. Come on, Murray.
Murray.
Such a weird... Why does he do that? Why does he call him Murray?
I don't know.
Is that from... I couldn't figure if I missed something in the movie, but yeah, Joker calls him Murray as a kind of a taunt, but I don't know where he got that from.
Yeah, same. I have no idea.
So he goes on the Murray Franklin show as a guest, I guess, after the Dr. Ruth. But as a guest in terms of he doesn't have anything to promote. He doesn't have anything to say. He kind of has his joke book full of porno pictures or whatever.
Oh, but it's so weird, and they never talk about it.
I know, it's so weird.
They really should.
He also doesn't bring jokes. It's not like he goes and does a stand-up set and then goes to the couch and he bombs in the stand-up set as well. You know, like you would with Johnny Carson. He would just go to the set. He just goes to the couch and sits there and it's like, hi, Murray, I'm that guy who you made fun of. And clearly I'm dressed like a clown now for no reason. And he says, it's for my act. It's well, you're not doing your act. You're coming to sit on the couch. So, what? No, dude. Imagine if there was these don't exist, but imagine if there was an Occupy Wall Street rally that got really big and everyone wore those V for Vendetta masks, and then some random clearly troubled comedian you brought on to your show to make fun of and bully comes in that day with his face painted like that, and then you just let him on anyway.
They'd never do it, no. And you wouldn't check him for weapons or do a background check. And, I guess it's the 80s, but, you would do a pat-down, and you could find his gun during a pat-down.
You'd ask him, hey, you got a gun? And he'd go no, Murray. And he'd be check this guy for a gun. You know what? Shoot him just now in case. I don't trust this guy. I'm a cool, tough guy from the mean streets. You don't even know me. He says that at one point. Murray Frank, but you don't know me. Is 8 Mile? Yes, it is. Kind of.
Mom spaghetti.
So Murray Franklin gets in kind of an argument with Joker when Joker makes a joke about knock-knock joke that ends with a drunk driving accident.
It was like an anti-joke. I was remember anti-jokes? That's what this was.
This whole movie was an anti-joke. Yeah, pretty good. Oh, God. Pretty good stuff. He goes, so then they fight, and then Joker says, so it's Joker confesses to killing those 3 boys, or young men, or whatever Murray Franklin keeps saying. And he's
then Nando, those young men? The security team comes immediately, grabs him, and arrests him immediately. Right? That's what happens, right?
That's what happens. Yes, the producer, played by Mark Maron, automatically de-escalates the situation. If not to save Murray, to save this poor little woman who's their other guest. But no, her life is taken into Mark Maron's character's hands, and he's like, "Nah, keep it rolling. We'll figure this out on the air." This is going to be good TV when someone gets killed. Who knows which one of the 3 guests or the co-host or whatever gets shot today. But yeah, so then Joker says, I think it's you want to hear a joke. And the joke is something to the effect of, what do you get when you cross a mentally ill person with a society that is crappy to them? And then he says, I don't know if he says what, or if we just get a pause, and then Joker pulls out that same pistol from earlier and says, they get what they fucking deserve, and then bam, blows Murray's head off, and then just sits there.
Yep. No, so much chill. He's fine.
Yeah, I guess he gets arrested immediately afterwards, but he doesn't go down swinging. He just gets arrested.
Yeah.
But then
you get what you fucking deserve, Nando.
I mean, we deserve this. This is exactly what we deserve. All our years of fun Marvel movies and shitty Venom movies and whatever, and we get this. This is what we deserve. Nah, Venom's great. I think this movie really when he says, a society is really where I think it got a little much for me to even kind of take seriously.
Yeah, it's so just, hey, did you figure out whose fault this was, everybody? Huh? Did you? And it's like, stop, please. Please make this stop.
And it's like, did you figure out whose fault it was? Tell us, please. Tweet us whose fault it was, because we're still not sure. We're pretty sure it's everybody but the Joker's fault, but we're still up, like, you know, we can be convinced one way or the other.
He's so sympathetic, everybody. Ugh. Please stop.
I feel super wrongheaded to make a Joker movie, and this is exactly why.
And because he doesn't do Joker things. There's nothing clever. He just is able to get a gun into everywhere and just, like, shoots a bunch of people.
Yeah, he shoots a lot of people. Someone pointed out it's weird that he's so good at shooting people. He's a crack shot
That's true, yeah.
From, like, no practice whatsoever. Yeah. You'd figure he'd be good, but not that good.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, that was Alvaro Castillo C. It's like, he's an awfully good shot considering he had pretty much zero practice. New Zornographers also had the nitpick, commits the cardinal sin of the character naming origin. This guy is a real Joker. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough movie. Everybody in this movie is just really mean to Joker.
It's society's fault, Nando. Fucking society.
I mean, society's not great, to be fair. Society's not nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's fine. Do you think, what movie would you like to see done in this style?
Oh, man.
Because, like, I don't think we'll get a sequel to this, because that would be awful. But
oh, wait, what do you mean by style?
Like, kind of like it's like, what if blank but blank? So, like, what if Scorsese but Joker? Like, what if Tarantino but who? But Punisher? Maybe. Probably not, though. Like, what character do you think would deserve a movie in their own kind of style and universe? It's like, I think you could do it with other characters and make something that's a little less, like, ham-handed and also relies on so much kind of, like, society, mental illness, all that stuff. You can make other interesting movies. Like, I think you could make a comedy of not Joker necessarily, but, like, straight-up superhero comedy before you can make something like this.
I would almost prefer What If Coming of Age but Joker. Like, honestly, like, troubled teen who can't find his place in the world, and maybe he's really smart and he has, you know, some interesting things about him, but he can't find his exact place, Nando. He just can't. Like I might be more down with that.
Like, almost like Brightburn, except with no superpowers, and also it's just
and Joker, and like a compelling, like, interesting character. Get a young Sheldon type, see what he can do.
See, the other problem with this movie is Joker is like, this movie at its core is about a mentally unstable, like, white guy who is pushed to his breaking point and goes on a killing spree. Isn't like the hero, but he's also not the hero because everyone else is also bad. So it really falls into the realm of like those movies like that like Bruce Willis does, where he's like an old man with a gun getting his own vengeance, or like Clint Eastwood, or, you know, Steven Seagal. Like, if it wasn't Joaquin Phoenix and it wasn't super well acted and it wasn't Joker, it would just come off like another one of those, like, you know, really wrong-headed, like, white guy gets a gun and does what he wants because society sucks. Like, it doesn't even kind of stand on its own.
You know how this movie should have ended, and, like, maybe it would have gotten the message better across, maybe not. But if at, like, in the end of all the chaos that's going on, just like a crazy guy, like, sees the Joker and it's like, oh my god, I see you, I love you so much, and then, like, he, like, fumbles a gun and, like, shoots the Joker in the head and the Joker dies. I know that's, like, really bad, but, you know, like, you could have gotten the guns are bad point across, I guess, right?
I guess. Maybe he accidentally kills Bruce Wayne's parents. He takes out his gun and the Joker's learned the errors of his ways. He's like, there is no good that can be done with whoop, 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 whoop. And then he fumbles it, and then both of Bruce Wayne's parents are shot.
I legit thought that they were going to go Batman 89 and have him kill the Joker.
Might as well.
Parents.
Why not at this point? What? Because that is the one bit of the movie that he's not in. He doesn't know that Thomas and Martha Wayne are dead, even though he has like a pretty, like, I mean, it's not a real connection, but like some sort of connection to those characters. He should be part of that. this is not, like, this isn't a good version of the Joker's origin in general, but, like, it's pretty unfaithful to everything else that's come before it, so might as well just go full crazy. Yeah, I think might as well kill Bruce Wayne's parents, because you know what? Thomas Wayne is running for mayor. He's like a politician. He's not your shoot him in the back alley. He's your drag him onto the streets, kind of like, let's make an example of him kind of guy. Like, I think that's, the fact that this movie decided to show the Waynes dying isn't insane to me, but the fact that they decided to show them dying in such a boring way that would fit into any other Batman movie, and have Martha's pearls jumping all over the place.
Yeah, like the pearls, oh my God.
And as we all know, I think we've all seen on Twitter, but if you don't, it's worth knowing, real pearls don't do that, shitty pearls do that. Real pearls are stitched pearl by pearl, so that if the pearl necklace is like ripped in half, all the pearls don't fly onto the ground. You just maybe lose one, and then you fix it. You pick that one pearl up. Yeah,
I did not know that.
It's insane that this many Batman movies have done this, and it's like, that's all I know about what happens if you rip the pearl necklace off like a woman, and it's just like dink, dink in slow motion. They all hit the ground like marbles, but no, the whole necklace would hit it once, a clunk, and then I guess Martha Wayne is dead. But yeah,
wow,
I know.
How interesting.
But
like legit though,
things that the movie did wrong. They got everything wrong. Come on, Todd Phillips, you get a more realistic Joker. You can't even get. I mean, but again, don't need to do it. Have Joker kill him. Have Joker kill them both. I don't care. Have him kill all three. Have Joker kill Bruce Wayne too. Whatever.
Wow.
And Alfred.
Just
and
go full insane.
And Superman and the Green Lantern. Just every other character comes up and he just kills every single one of them.
Time to die.
Yeah. Robin, all the Commissioner Gordon. It doesn't like thematically the idea that the actual villain of this movie, which is kind of Thomas Wayne, dies in a back alley for no reason with no like ceremony and in no way tied to the Joker is super disappointing. And the only reason they did it is because that's what happens to Thomas Wayne in a Batman movie, which is kind of a pretty good indication that they don't know what they're doing with this Batman movie. Like,
oh yeah, they're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, not they're screwed. Excuse me. I don't want to make this Matt Reeves Batman movie might have been fine, but this like Batman Joker movie, which parts are Batman, which parts are our own thing? Well, you put that thing in and that doesn't belong there. So clearly you didn't really get the Joker stuff either, but you definitely didn't get the Batman stuff. But also, yeah, the Matt Reeves one might be fine. Who knows? That's the thing with Warner Brothers. It's so hit or miss. Aquaman, I enjoyed. Shazam, pretty good. This. Like, no consistency.
Downward trends. That's
what do you think of this Harley Quinn movie? Harley Quinn and the Birds of Quinn.
The emancipation of whatever.
The emancipation of the coward Robert Ford.
It's a terrible name. Can we agree that like it's a terrible, terrible name?
Yeah, well, it's just because Birds of Prey was higher on their release schedule, but they want to shove Harley Quinn in there, but they couldn't call it. I mean, they probably could have gotten away with calling it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. There's really only 2 Birds of Prey, so it'd be like, well, are these really the Birds of Prey? So then they went with Birds of Prey and the whatever mysterious emancipation of fantabulous emancipation or something. I don't know. I'm not psyched about that one.
That's like, I forget what vehicle does this, but like, it's the case of the missing cat burglar, or that time the suitcase fell down a well. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like old-timey, like...
It's not Sherlock Holmes, is it?
I don't think so. Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
I do, yeah. I think that was like... Well, because, like, Dr. Strangelove is like that. And, like, there's other...
Yeah.
I think that was just kind of a thing sometimes.
Okay.
Because, yeah, those do exist.
Right.
But, yeah, the name of this... What'd you say?
I really just remember that being a thing, but I can't like think of the vehicle where it is a thing. Anyway.
I'm gonna figure it out, DJ. I'm gonna learn something about it. This isn't helping at all. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the title of this Harley Quinn movie is Birds of Prey: and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? That's what we all want. Just make a goddamn Batman movie.
They're making one. Or do you mean like
They are. No, they are. And I trust them kind of to maybe make this one good. Give them... That's the thing. It is such a completely different team that this could go any way. This could be anything. They all could be anything, which is fun. But also, when they're not good, then they're like really not good.
I found the answer, by the way.
Oh, what is it?
So, you're right. Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. There was also Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. And apparently, it's generally a subtitle to provide a hint or a little more information of the movie. In books or other works, subtitle is given an alternate title. For example, Mary Shelley used to give a subtitle to her most famous novel, Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. So it's just an alternate title to give a little more information. So there you have it. I don't know what more information that gives us, but there you go.
Do you think you could go to the theater and be like, I'll take one ticket for The Modern Prometheus, please? And then they're like, I know, but you got to say the real title, please. Come on. I'm tired of these you nerds coming in and being like, I'll take one ticket for the Emancipation of the Fantabulous Harley Quinn. It's cool. She wears trash bags and caution tape and whatever. It's a whole new, it's breaking the mold. Society's not ready for her.
Hell nah.
Nah.
Hell nah.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie will be fine. Probably. Who knows? Nah. Who knows? It's got a bunch of actors in it. Margot Robbie.
That is the sign of a good movie, Nando.
Ewan
if it has
McGregor,
a bunch of actors, then
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's directed by Kathy Yan. Who's that? She directed.
I think this is like her first thing, because I looked this up. Michelle had asked me like, "Who's directing this movie?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know."
Something called Dead Pigs, and that's it. So, Dead Pigs starring Zazie Beetz, Joker's own Zazie Beetz.
Is that like a stage name, or is that her given name?
I don't know. It's a good question. Can't be a real name, right? No, it is.
Yeah.
Zazie Olivia Beetz.
Like, with a name like that, you have to go into music, I feel like. Like, Zazie Beetz? Like,
you would assume, right? But yeah, it's Zazie, Zaziebetz. And that's her name.
I mean, if your surname is already Beetz, you got to name your kid Zazie.
Yes, that's right.
You're cooking with gas there. You have so much to work with. So, good on them. That's what I have to say.
I like her in stuff.
Yeah.
Don't care for her too much in this, but she's barely in it. So.
The ridiculous thing is that the fact that her character exists, because it gives us nothing. It doesn't add anything.
There's no way if this movie was going and we got to like the 3/4 of the way point, and I was like, where are all the women? Why aren't the ladies jumping all over this guy? And it really feels like she is as underwritten as any female character has ever been underwritten. But it almost feels like an attempt to not have no female characters in the movie besides the mom. But like,
you can't do that.
Yeah, I'd probably do a little bit better than this. Like, I remember when this cast came out and people were like, oh, is she going to be like the Harley Quinn? It's like not even kind of.
Yeah, man. I hate to let you down, but...
Oh, we have to mention real quick, he dances like the whole movie. It's more dancing than I could have ever imagined.
When we called it the dance to the Joker, we didn't realize how correct we were, but we were super correct.
Oh my God. It was insane. It was so much dancing.
Can you talk about the one song that...
Oh, yeah.
It's just so bad.
It might as well be the song that's like... Because it's the song that you hear at hockey games. And I know it's for other things, too. Yeah. I think because the funny thing about this movie is the trailers, there's like 2 trailers and a bunch of other clips of like pretty much all that footage. So there's very little of the movie was shown besides pretty much the entire movie because there wasn't really all that much to it. But they released at least one clip that was just all this dancing on the steps. And it had the normal, like, dramatic send in the clowns that the rest of the trailer had behind it as, like, the backing music. But people threw in a lot of fun stuff, like Lean With It, Rock With It, because he kind of does that move, and, like, other, like, pop music. And really what we ended up with was probably something that could have been a joke like someone made at some point. I don't think if it would have taken very much more time to accidentally land on Rock and Roll version 2 by whoever that guy is. But yeah, I wish they went even further with it. And like Joker puts on the mascot and then all you hear is, y'all ready for this?
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Would have blown my mind.
The rest of the Toon Squad comes out. 5-4 from the island of Tasmania. It's it's a really awkward musical choice for that scene. I hated it. I don't know what I wanted, but I figured it wasn't that.
Not that. You didn't want that for sure.
Yeah, me and the guy next to me who did not know each other both looked at each other and went, whoa.
That's phenomenal, by the way.
It was great.
To you.
We had a good time. But it was
that
So all in all, this movie is definitely not worth all the trouble.
Nah, it's bad.
Joaquin Phoenix is good in it, but
Do you think he has any shot at an Oscar?
I don't know what else is out there this year, but probably. I think people are going to want to give something from this movie an Oscar, and I'm sure it's not going to be anything but, like, I don't think production design will win, though, because I'm sure something else will pop up that's like some period piece in, like, the, Victorian England, and then that'll get it.
Well, that's what we said last year, but Black Panther won, so...
That's true.
I don't know. And, like, I do think Black Panther deserved so I could see it winning for, like, production design. But in terms of Best Actor, and again, I'm not, like, Mr. Oscar by any means, but there's some buzz for one Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the trailer for that?
I know I'm kind of trying to stay away from it, but I have heard he's good in it.
Okay, yeah.
What if we get, who are the cats? We'll get all the cats to win.
Ooh, let's get all the cats.
Ooh, what about Hitler from Jojo Rabbit? He could do it. Or any of the Knives Outs. I'm sure someone will show up. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'll give it to any of them. I want cats to win, though, really badly now. Plus, I mean, you got The Irishman, right, which is supposed to be pretty good. Robert De Niro actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of there are movies. There's some stuff coming out that could be pretty solid. There's The Farewell, which I haven't seen, Ford Ferrari, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Parasite, like a lot of stuff that I'm like, that could win. All things that I have a feeling will be at least as good as, if not better than Joker. But like I could see, and then there's that one. What's the one with is it called The Lighthouse? There's one called The Lighthouse that has like Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
Yes. So
it's like that could do it.
A lot of possible contenders.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
I hope it's one of those, though. Could be, you know who it could be? It could be Taron Egerton for Rocket Man. He's terrific in it. So there's all the credit in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But right now, the odds for Best Picture currently, 7-1 odds for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 15-2 for Irishman, 8-1 for Marriage Story. You got to go pretty far down to find Joker. 18-1 for Joker, number 10 on the list. So it's probably not going to happen.
No, hell no.
I hope not.
Maybe Joaquin, maybe.
Maybe him. Yeah. No, I think he's definitely got a shot. But I think it's pretty, not like unreasonable, but I think it'd be pretty, I don't know. It's going to be like Suicide Squad, where it's going to be the other like highest winning movie of the year. You know, we're going to have to go through this again. Like, he's currently number 2 with Adam Driver for Best Actor on the odds for Hollywood. They're both 4-1 odds. Leo is 11-2. De Niro is 6-1 for Irishman. Then Antonio Banderas apparently is a movie 15-2 called Pain and Glory. So there's guys. Eddie Murphy's up there. Taron Egerton, Christian Bale, Adam Sandler. Plenty of talent.
Oof, all right.
Yeah. All right, DJ. Any other Joker thoughts before we get to our classic segment?
This movie took so many years off my life.
Yeah, it took so many years off the world's life. Like we spent so much time thinking about this movie.
Yeah, like I think our collective I don't know what the word is, but like I think as a society we're like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. We will continue the dance. I guess we won't actually. We're done with the dance. So
no, we're done with the dance. Don't have another Batman movie coming out for a while, and I doubt the next one will have Joker in it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine if they have another Joker movie? That'd be insane.
We'll have to do it.
Oh, for sure. I'll be so excited. Choice. Get it right one of these times. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. So, DJ, do you want to get to our classic segment? We got something to recommend to the fine people?
Let's do it.
All right. What do you got?
So I want to recommend another, what I'll call an old thing, but that I just discovered. So I'll just tell the people about it. So you may have heard of a show, Nando, called The Great British Bake Off.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I started watching this show. I get it. I get why people love it. It's a legit show.
Oh yeah, we watched Bake Off back in the day at our.
I know it's so old and but it's a lot of fun. So it's like one of those things if you haven't watched the show, you should totally watch it. It's legit good.
Yeah, it's fun.
I feel like that's saying oh, did you know The Sopranos are good? But just increase your life a little bit. Watch The Great British Bake Off. It's a lot of fun.
It's nice to hear British people talk.
It really is. It's so wholesome.
It makes me happy.
It's so wholesome. So yeah, Great British Bake Off. That's what I got.
Nice.
I realize it's an odd one, but it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's a good. I mean, people love it, and it's very consistently popular.
It makes you want to eat all the desserts, man. Just like, especially like Halloween time, because like Food Network's just all about like the baking stuff for Halloween, candy stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I just want to be the worst person.
Yeah,
I just want to destroy myself.
That's true.
Yeah, isn't it though?
It is.
So anyway, Great British Bake Off and eat all the food you can. It's my recommendation. Woohoo! Nice.
I'm going to recommend, so I'm recommending like something you can see in the real world, unless, Oh, you know what? No, I finished, I give like a full rec to, Undone, that show that is not the video game about the yarn guy. It's in fact about a girl who's going crazy or something, maybe. Who knows?
Yes. That was
it looks like Scanner Darkly. Right? Yeah, I'd watched a couple of the episodes last week. I finished it yesterday. So it holds up. It's very good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I like the actress that plays the main character, who is Alita Battle Angel, whose name I believe is Rose Salazar. I think she's quite good. I would also recommend, this isn't nearly as much of a thing everybody can like appreciate, but I watched something called or like at Comic-Con, which everybody that I saw at Comic-Con, super cool. You guys were all super nice, and a lot of people said that you liked the pod, which was great. We had I had some time to kill at the end of the night on Friday, so I went to see not taping. Well, I guess they probably taped it. Something called the George Lucas Talk Show, which is very funny. It's something that happens at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in New York every so often. So I don't know if you can run out and see one. Eventually, I'm sure there'll be one. But basically, two comedians. One pretends to be George Lucas. One pretends to be Watto, and that is his sidekick. And then two of them host a talk show, and they spend most of the time talking about George Lucas's contributions to cinema and why everyone's stealing from him and how many Norman Rockwell paintings he has. You learn a lot about George Lucas, but it's very funny. And if you ever have a chance, I'd say go check it out. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little thing.
Nice. Yeah, you mentioned it, and that sounded so cool.
Yeah, it's a good time. So it's definitely worth giving a look. But it's also something that I imagine you can't just go find every day. So if you're in the city, happens to show up, definitely give it a look. But that's all I got, DJ.
All right. Oh, we did it.
Next week.
Oh yeah, next week.
Gemini's Man, I think.
Gemini's Man.
Gemini's Man. We're gonna do that one. And then DJ's you're gonna be on vacation, so that one's gonna be released actually right around the same time as you'd expect normally. We're kind of a little, backed up, so it won't even make a difference. We'll still probably be able to talk about the news of the day.
I'm seeing it Thursday, so woohoo!
It's gonna be great. I'm really excited.
I'm something.
Yes, you should be. That's what everyone should be when they see a movie.
Something. Yeah. Great insight.
Get what you deserve.
You get what you deserve.
I wanted to, and I already closed. I'm such an idiot. No, I didn't. I wanted to highlight, because it's always helpful if people give us wonderful 5-star reviews on iTunes or other stuff, I guess, but iTunes is the one that aggregates them best. So I just wanted to read a nice review that we got at some point in the past. This is from someone named Longing for More. They called the review is titled Mostly Enjoyable. Found this pod after seeing Nando's excellent rewrite of Justice League on YouTube. So wish they had made that. The pod is really great despite my review title. Good point, Nando and DJ, I guess. 5 stars.
We should get that on a shirt, I think.
Yeah. So definitely rate us on iTunes. We'll keep an eye out for those. Like currently our rating is good, but I know there's something about visibility if you get more ratings. I don't know. I try not to get too far into that, but there's something to it.
Don't let him fool you. He's all over that. He's checking the statistics on a near second-by-second basis.
I'm calling whoever the guy in charge of Apple is, Tom Apple or Steve Apple or whatever his name is. Tell me right now, how many stars do I have?
I need to know.
He's like, please, God, stop. You'll never get as many stars as you want, and society will keep you from getting them.
Because you get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, we deserve 5-star reviews, so please give us those. Besides that, we're on Twitter. We're at nitpicking pod, which is where you can throw Gemini Man nitpicks if you see it in the first day of it's being released.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick turnaround, but if you could get them in there, by all means.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what people think of this movie. If you like Will Smith, you're in for a treat. If you don't, then buckle up. I got nothing. Until next week, though, I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Woohoo.
Woo.